Welcome to YLC, the Young Leaders Committee that promotes and grows youth leadership that ensures the future leaders lead from today by educating and inspiring them to soar higher and higher.
Welcome to YLC, the Young Leaders Committee, the platform that educates, enlightens, inspires, and walks young people into leadership from their youth. Young people, your leadership era has started. Waiting for tomorrow might not be a good idea. This is the 20th and last episode of this first series. Whereas the theme of this episode is Beyond the Ordinary, the focus in this video is, does faith count? Does faith count? Is similar to the other one, but the two words are very different. Some people believe in faith, but the question is, where does that come in your leadership? Should you bring your belief into your leadership? How personal should belief in faith be or be taken? These are some of the questions we'll be answering. There are two broad spectrums of visualizing faith. The personal religious angle that often dovetails into superstition or spirituality, and the general operational dimension that considers the fortune of organizations. We will take a look at both, but very briefly now, and leave details to a webinar. Merriam-Webster defines faith as the will or principle or determining cause by which things in general are believed to come to be as they are, or events to happen as they do. That is looking at faith from the angle of destiny. Looking at faith from the angle of destiny. Merriam-Webster goes further to define faith as an inevitable and often adverse outcome, condition, or end. An often adverse outcome, condition, or end. Then Michael Mead defines faith as all the limitations and challenges we encounter throughout our lives. The question now is, what do you understand as faith? Faith has both the secular and spiritual angles. People believe that certain things have been predetermined and cannot be changed. Consequently, some of such people would relinquish their responsibilities. They hold the view that what must be, and consequently give in to whatever they find. While we may not judge them or determine what they should do or should not do, we will say unequivocally that this position is purely personal and should not be imposed on or brought into the organization where they are leaders. If you are a leader, hold it to yourself. Otherwise, there will be a preponderance of beliefs that could stifle the movement and progress of the organization. When subordinates or colleagues are the ones that hold this belief, leaders should not just brush them aside. You have a responsibility. On the non-religious side, where faith refers to limitations and challenges as mentioned above, leaders must not quickly foreclose an unpleasant circumstance as the destiny of the organization. I would refer to that as a defeatist attitude. Great leaders should not be known to be succumbing readily in that manner. A parochial belief in faith could prevent something from happening. That something could be good or bad. That's why leaders must give attention to such beliefs in the organizations. The power and place of faith in the organization depends on the leadership and what they each bring to the table. Generally, faith will limit or hinder, but the extent depends largely on the leadership. There are leaders who turn ugly situations around, who are able to turn misfortune into great fortunes. Yet there are leaders who freeze at the least sign of an ugly situation. Leaders need to learn how to manage faith and believe in it at all times and in all situations. Religious belief that there is a negative possibility that your works won't yield the supposed good results could be fatalistic. It could create great tension and apprehension, which astute leaders must be prepared and be able to douse. There are certain things or challenges that characterize certain types of organizations. Every organization has to face them and so work hard to surmount them where possible. Faith may also be good fortune that leaders should work towards to realize. Faith is a reference to the future and possible fortune of an organization. It speaks of the chances an organization has to hit a great fortune or to achieve its targets and do excellently well. The fate of an organization isn't something to leave to chance and to bemoan later. Even in the darkest environment of operations, leadership should summon courage and refuse to give up. This is very beautifully captured by Carl Hebert, who said, "Whether we rise to the challenge of adversity or are devastated by it is largely a matter of choice. Ultimately, we are responsible for that choice, and leaders have no choice but to face such situations. Whether in handling beliefs in faith or general operations, organizational success depends largely on the following: cooperation among workers, especially the leaders, the location of the organization and access it has to materials and men, among others, and then the takeoff capital, goodwill, and resources the organization has, the caliber of workers and the management team. Then qualities and qualifications of his staff strength also come in. Policies of the government, leadership style and acumen, perception of workers, especially those of the leadership. That's why we're emphasizing leadership, because this video is for you as a leader. It's expedient for leaders to be aware of challenges that could affect the fate of the organizations and brace up to either prevent or tackle such challenges. The fate of leadership is determined by the ability of leaders to motivate and inspire others to work together to create change. Leaders who are able to build coalitions with power and influence can help their communities to thrive. The following factors affect the fate of leadership. 1. Education. Leaders' education can shape their values, interests, and incentives to push for change. 2. Communication. Leaders need to be able to communicate effectively with their employees and other stakeholders. Thirdly, respect. Leaders need to be respectful and to give respect in return. Adaptability follows next, and that is that leaders need to be prepared for change and be able to take advice from others. Compassion. Leaders need to be able to lead with compassion and help their employees to thrive. Faith. Faith can provide leaders with guidance, inspiration, and comfort. Then lifestyle. Your lifestyle determines many things, and the actions you take or you won't take. It could affect your operations and perspectives in life and at work. Attitudes. This is always a game changer when it's positive and when it is outstanding. It's also a great destroyer when it's negative. Develop an enterprising attitude, for instance, and your organization will climb to the high heavens. Finally, the last point there is relationships and interactions. And want to say that these two are key. They can equip you with information that enhance the fortune of your organization. They can also spell doom for you or your organization. How then do we face adversity? Because organizations will usually face adversities. We had mentioned that there are universally common challenges that could be regarded as the fate of leaders or the fate of the organizations. Here are a few general solutions to tackle them. 1. Identify and study the types of adversity your organization is facing. It's important. Recognize and learn how best to tackle the causes of the adversities. It's usually best to tackle issues from their roots. And next, discover the means to engage in tackling the adversity. And finally on our list, develop the traits required to overcome or turn adversities into fortunes. To end this video, we want to look at leadership role in handling fate. Someone says, fate and leadership signify the idea that while a person's destiny or fate might be predetermined to a certain extent, their actions as a leader or as leaders can significantly influence and shape the outcome of that destiny, suggesting that even within seemingly fixed circumstances, leadership can still play a crucial role in determining the direction of events. Fate is a reality in some contexts. It is diverse and should be handled cautiously. When fate is superstition, leaders still have roles to play to ensure it does not hinder operational flow and success. Even when leaders don't believe in fate, they should realize that the belief held by their subordinates or colleagues could affect work in their setup. We can now answer our question. That is the topic of this session. And that has been, does fate count? Please post your answer in the comment section of this video. We think it counts to some extent. Let's hear from you, and let's hear from you soon. Thank you for watching. Young Leaders Committee is a mentoring group for the growth and stability of young and prospective leaders. It promises potentials and opportunities for encountering all class of young people and turning them around for excellence. Registration has commenced. The earlier you get registered, the brighter your chances. You can use the link on the screen or visit our website www.gedamconsult.com to register. It's free. Thanks. See you at the next session.